was born here at Tobuko General Hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you know, my parents are Nigerian, so they said, "Hey, you think you will be a Canadian? You must go to Nigeria." So, I think it was the first time I went to Nigeria was I think I would say it's like high school. So I used to go there in December. So it's cold here.
Dirty December.
Nice day.
And it's nice. Me, I didn't know dirty December. The first time I was going out there, I had to go say hi to a million and one aunties, and in our culture, you know,
Yeah.
as men, you have to touch, you know, go down and touch the floor to greet your elders. It's very culturally rich. I'm Yoruba.
Yeah.
So Yoruba people, if you study us, very cultural, you know, you must respect your elders, you know, don't use your left hand to greet somebody, use your right. Then later on, the parents had to get the update because some people are left-handed. You know, but, you know, all of that stuff. So anyways, we're talking about tantalization, right?
Yeah.
So I go to a restaurant, and it's called Tantalizers.
Tantalizer.
Yeah, it's like a burger spot, you know?
Burgers.
So I was like, okay, Nigerian burgers.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm like, all right, cool. And then the first thing when I got in there, I just noticed everyone was just happy. Like, the energy was just there. They were wearing, you know, the bright colors because, you know, a lot of Ankara and the fabrics, you can see, like, it's very colorful.
Yeah.
It's not that we're wearing black.
Yeah.
We're wearing green.
Yeah.
You know, it's, like, very colorful, and people are very happy.
Yeah.
So when I remembered that moment, when I got back, I started saying tantalization.
Yeah.
Right? Because when I think about it, it reminds me of that frequency, that high frequency
That
where
energy.
it's just like everyone is here, they're present, and whoever they are, even if this person has $1 million and this person has $3, they're confident in themselves and who they
Facts.
are. And that's where tantalization came from. You get me?
The first time I heard it, I was like, yo, that sounds like a good time. Immediately, you think good time. So, yeah, I got invited to a couple of parties.
couple
You know,
of folks.
you know?
You know, I want to touch on something. So the first time I ever heard the word tantalization or tantalize was from Travis Scott.
Yeah.
He said it on, I think it was No Guidance.
Yes. So there's a funny story behind that.
Oh.
You guys know the story of that?
No.
No, we don't.
So there's a guy by the name of K Forest. K Forest is an amazing artist from the city, grew up in the B's, like talented. You know, we were friends and stuff like that. And one time he did a record, right? And he was like, yo, Femi, I watched your videos because I made a lot of videos on YouTube. You know, I'm talking like, you know, with the 2010s, you know what I mean? The younks.
The young
You and Marlon are golden for that.
Come on, bro.
Facts.
You know, we popularized. You know, we were worldwide with some stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, we put that out, and then after I'm realizing, sorry, I'm even losing track because you're like.
We're talking about the No Guidance.
No Guidance.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I was watching one of your videos, and I said tantalizing it, and I was like, yo, I think I want you on this record.
Yeah.
On YouTube, I would do parody records, but I was getting like millions of views from them. So for example, Bobby Shmurda, you know, hot nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, it'd be cool if we just went to New York and like I just did like a Nigerian version, bro.
Yeah.
So yo, Jordan Oram, who was my virgin at the time, and my boy Kaede, he has Afro Bass. I got the rental. We went to New York and we shot the video.
Yeah.
What you don't realize is that when we shot the video, it was Nigerian Independence Day out there. I remember because of my YouTube and stuff, I don't know who knows me. Yeah. So I'm walking through the crowd, Femi, Lawson, So now I'm in this video like,
Yeah.
why we're not only shooting a video, like this is a video.
Oh, shit.
Millions of views, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting a cut from my barber, and my barber's like, he's Jamaican. Femi, you have to stop with the play songs, you know. You know, you're getting real views. You have more views than some of these artists, you know. You have to make real songs now. You have experience. I'm like, yo, it's true, it's roots, it's true stuff.
Yeah.
So when K Forest hit me with guidance, I'm like, I'm gonna come on this verse. First I will start up. So
Pause.
I went to his
Pause.
I went to his crib. Seeing DF was there making the beat. I heard. It was like very grime, very garage. Like if you're familiar with UK music, it had that like bounce, you know. So K swerved the song, right? And then when I hopped in the booth, I came on my energy. First time we started by touching her hair, grabbing her waist, and it's okay in fear.
Hey.
She come tantalize me, she grabbed me my beer, but she ginger my body. I'm not talking beer.
What?
Bro, like it was different. You know? Some people don't if you know lyrics, you can catch what I'm saying.
yeah,
Don't know it, you'll be like, what's this guy saying?
Yeah.
But guess who caught what I was saying?
Travis?
Scott. So we do the record. 4 days later, I get 18 missed calls from K Forest. I'm like, dog, what's going on? He's like, come to my house quick. Somebody remixed the song 4 days later.
What?
Right? I go to his crib. He presses play. Travis already cut like a little version. He's like, yo, Femi, I'm flying to LA on Friday. This is the first time this shit happened, bro.
Whoa.
And he does collabs, but he's like, Femi, my first collab with you got me, we were doing Travis Scott.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm like, of course it is, because I come from a very positivity, everything is going to happen when it does, because you have to manifest and say it's going to happen. All these things I said when I was
vibrations.
That glass half full. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like, let's talk big about ourselves. Let's
sure.
pump energy into ourselves. And then, boom. And then I heard the Travis version. And, you know, when they say tantalize, that's referring to tantalization, my movie.
Man.
So
People don't know that, though. Now they do.
It was very, very honorable, and like just to be a part of that moment and history.
Yeah.
I think that was really dope too.
Oh, that was Travis Scott Guidance?
Yeah. No,
But I
So
feel
the
like-
original version is Guidance K Forest featuring Baba Femi. Baba Femi is my artist.
Yeah.
Then the remix version is Travis Scott on Birds on the Track.
Okay.
Went 4 times platinum too.
So I want to introduce our guest here. We know we got into a whole rant. I want to start by saying it's your boy Sima, your boy Ronto, and your boy Delux, and we are Maybe It Gets Better podcast, and we got a special guest in the building. Tell the people your name.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Femi Lawson, fine boy. It's a pleasure to be here. You know, Toronto, Nigerian, man them. You get me? Yeah.
Great link up. So let's start with like an introduction and like what you got going on so far. So you already told us about your upbringing and stuff, but like besides being an artist, what else do you do?
I think it's important. So I grew up west end of the city.
Yeah.
I was really involved early and doing a lot of community initiatives.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Driftwood, you know, but I was the Nigerian guy who was amongst the I had a Somali babysitter. A lot of my
Hoya?
Yeah, Hoyo, Kale, we ate the rice and banana. You know, I had another babysitter. I was from Guyana, so I'm eating roti with her. You know, I have my Tamil friends that I grew up with. Kima Raja, shout out to you. That was one of my first Tamil homegirls. You know, grade 2. She was good in math. I helped her with English. You know, I grew up with immigrants, like real first generation. Your mom just came from that place yesterday. Immigrants. So the way I understand Toronto on a diversity tip is deep. Like the other day, you know, Marlon was having a conversation because it was, you know, there was a whole thing about, you know, how everyone is taking the slang and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, people felt so moved, like, oh my gosh, his experience of not being allowed to go to their house, how dare they?
Yeah.
But then it's like, yeah, that was the experience for not only, like, a lot of us too.
Facts.
I'm like, I was African. I'm like, everybody wasn't getting along with me. They said, there was one time, there was a man that was like, there was a time that they're like, oh, what kind of food is this? You know, when the fufu came out, they're like, like, you know, I came up in that era. But guess what? I didn't change my name and say, oh, I'm actually Jamaican. I say, yeah, I'm Nigerian, like, we wavy. You know what I mean? So when I
stand on it,
not properly, but I never took it to heart as a hate for hate. I took it as learning opportunities.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Took all of that. You know, went to school. Police used to stop us all the time. Used to be really like disheartening because it was bad racial profiling. So I said, I'm going to school and I'm going to do criminal justice.
Okay.
Get me?
Make a
Apply
change.
for all 5 universities. Boom. Because remember, I'm dog. At the end of the day, I'm going to school. Like, we're smart out here. We're intelligent. You know what I mean? We're not just hanging out. Would I be a Nigerian guy living in jail if I just be hanging out?
Yeah, you can't do
smoking
that.
marijuana.
You can't do that.
Me? Hey, my mom. Femi. There's times that I would be playing basketball, and the lights will come on.
Yeah, you got
My
me
mom's
inside.
coming out in the wrapper, her head tie.
What?
I'm playing ball with the man them. Femi, it's time to come inside. Man, them are looking around. They're like, yo, Femi, your mom's calling you. Yo, you have to go eat fufu, fam. You have to go eat fufu. It was the worst. But one thing I can see in the long term, it helped me though.
Yeah.
It's
Because it got
character
me on track.
development.
Yeah, it was character development.
Would you say it gave you the right discipline to move forward?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got into university, all 5 universities, criminal justice program at Ryerson. After that, you know, ended up, being head of the department for the arts department. Then my boy Jerome Morgan's like, yo, they have a Black Students Association here. Yo, president and vice president, that stuff. Boom. I was vice president of the Black Students Association. I'm like, how can we get some bands to like do stuff, Let's do a conference, because they said they never had a black conference at Ryerson.
What?
My boy's like, how you mean? We knocked on the person that ran the whole university's door. We said, you want 50 bands. He's like, oh, no one just comes to us and asks for 50 bands, but if you guys do A, B, and C, we can support it and give you the money to match it.
Yeah.
We did it, got the money to match it. Boom, we did the conference. The first conference that Ryerson ever did, it still runs till today.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying? So now we're out there moving, like how we'd move in our neighborhoods, but in the systems, universities. Boom, after that, I was like, all right, cool. As a black man, university degree is cool, but let me get a master's.
You know how African parents are, say doctorate, masters. You have to get your masters.
Yeah. But remember, while this is going on, my entertainment side is happening all at once too. So you say when you talk about the discipline, it was true, because I had to be disciplined in order to know how to manage it. Got my university master's degree, focused on arts education and youth.
What?
Work with a lot of
congrats to that, man. That's a big one.
Big up to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, because a lot of people in our generation don't even look towards shit like that. You're looking towards the negative side mostly. So that's a big one.
I think it was a good balance for me, because I was able to use kind of like the business in the sense of, for example, you take sociology. What sociology is? Understanding systems, understanding people and humans. You know what I mean? Certain guys will get really, really pissed and reactive about certain things, and I would look at it like he's just a result of what the system is. I said, don't get mad at the people, get mad at the system, but don't get mad at the system. If you understand the system, then you understand the people.
Yeah.
You understand? And I feel like people don't take time to really understand everything before going into it, and that would help in your content creation. That would help in you getting the opportunity to go to Hollywood without having an agent.
Yeah.
It's people. I feel like we're all spirits having human experiences, where you have to understand, if I can understand where the food you used to eat as a child growing up, and your brought up, there'll be a stronger friendship, because I took time to understand that part of you. And now, let's say you're the person holding the keys for an opportunity. More than likely, if I meet you, you would want to just open the keys and say, hey, let's work, because naturally your spirit will take to someone. And I feel like as diverse, immigrant parent kids coming to Toronto and Canada, we are very spiritual in the sense of how we sense things. That's why it's like our energy is high, it's low.
It's funny, Jamaican people say this one thing is like, oh, my spirit doesn't take that person, right? And it basically means it's like, yo, like, I don't know something about that person that I just can't take to. Like, their energy's off, right?
Throwing you
It's
off,
a lot of things that, like, a lot of times I've heard, and then they'll say, oh, like, this happened with that particular person. You're like, yeah, like, I know my spirit was right in saying that, right?
So there's a lot of cover-ups with that, too. You could cover it, and you could feel the difference. Like, I don't feel like that's you.
Yeah, like, a lot of people hide who they truly are and stuff, right? So it's like when like, a lot of things is very underneath spiritual stuff that people, like, don't really pay attention to. And when you hear somebody that's older, that's like an immigrant, that says, yo, you gotta watch out for that person.
Facts.
They know what they're talking about.
I realized too, because like I was blessed enough to be able to travel a little bit, and I realized if you come from Toronto, you could go anywhere in the world and be just fine. Like because you understand, like you said, you understand so much different cultures, and you've been around it since kindergarten, so it's like you could really go anywhere and relate to people quick
and have a conversation, bro. I feel like it's such a diverse city where we meet so much different people and like different cultures. So when you go to a different place in the world, it's like you already know a little bit about that person and how to connect with them.
It's true. Even going back to your point about traveling the world and being able to kind of be comfortable around different cultures. Oftentimes people use the word melting pot. I use the word melting pot for America, because in America, everyone's a melting pot, just American, man. American citizen, USA.
Facts.
Here, I see us as a cultural mosaic. Let me explain what it is. Let's say you have a blanket, right? Everyone's on the blanket, but everyone's quilt on the blanket is a different design and it's a different material. So we're spread on that one sheet. Yes, we're all here Canadian, but the way that our sheet is these two and these three right beside each other might be different quality, different materials, different this, different that, but they all are value to that sheet.
Yeah.
That's a cultural mosaic.
Yeah.
The melting pot, everyone is just jumping in the pot.
And we don't know what's going on.
You don't know. The pot's lit. Don't get it twisted. Like, I respect the pot. You know, we want the US dollars now. But, like, do you know where your mom's from? I don't know. I don't know.
I never been.
I could talk to you on that.
That's an unfortunate part. A lot of American people are so disconnected from like their roots, like their backgrounds. They don't even know where they're from.
But that comes from like real generational trauma, though. Like when you look at like every ethics, I did my BA in criminology, right? So the criminal justice thing that you're saying, but also the whole history of like where you grew up. Like you grew up in Jane and Finch, you grew up in Driftwood Side. I grew up in Jane and Finch. We went to school in the same ways. I went to Westview, it was a boiling pot. That was a boiling pot. Like you put two ends in one. I say that's Westview right there.
Yeah, you went Westview, I went Emory.
See? So there's a lot of like, and even with the whole conversation that Marlon was having with the content creators, right? There's that thing, like, if you grew up in some type of marginalized community, you're around different cultures all the time. Like, so even if someone's like, yo, they didn't let me go here, I had different homies. I was going everywhere. I went to my Vietnamese homies spot, my Nigerian homies spot, like my Somalis family, like everywhere. But that was just how it was because everyone was already going through a tough time. So no one's gonna look at someone coming in and being like, oh, you know what, like something's wrong with that. But
no, I think one thing that was lost in the conversation is, I think everything you're saying, like, I completely agree. And, like, knowing, like, everyone's obviously growing up is different, but we have brethrens like that. We know, like, even if when he said in the interview, is like, you know, the second guys, those guys are really Toronto. They're all brown guys, really Toronto. And you could always tell, you know, you could always tell. The thing is the values are different. Yeah. The values gives you... This conversation is very intelligent because we're speaking from experience of being around certain groups of people growing up. But we also grew up around like a lot of people having reasoning sessions with us. So, for example, you know, if I see you doing something wrong, I'm going to come talk to you and we're going to chat for like an hour straight.
That definitely happened to me.
Reasoning.
Yeah.
People are not reasoning anymore.
No.
Like, really and truly, I would bring the brown guys and have a conversation with my name guys. Like, that's something that I would do. I'm like, why are we doing this back and forth?
Explain it to them.
Let's talk to each other. And that's what we did a lot. That's why when you're referring to like a Westview, you know, the Emory, growing up in West End, there was a big group of us, but we would always be in conversations.
It doesn't need to go to war.
Like, war started, I'll tell you this, because I'm from social media. War started when social media started to do the posting and focusing on this clip.
Facts.
In criminal justice, when you go and you do your media studies class, it's called moral panic. Moral panic is a technique that is used where they'll focus the news on this specific thing. When it comes to politicians, they usually use it around election time. So they'll focus on a shooting that happened, for example.
Talking points.
So that everyone is scared, they're in a state of panic, and you come in as the moral savior. Hey, guys, you know, we're going to get these guns off the street. We have these cops, and they're going to go everywhere, and they're going to be no bullshit. We're going to call them the Tavis unit. The Tavis unit is supposed to be community, but what they're doing is racial profiling. I got pulled over at Tavis tons of times. But guess what I did? I was like, I got to learn about this, so let's have meetings with the police. You know what I mean? Let me know more about that system. And then, now let me bring it back to the community so we know how to mobilize. You know what I mean? Again, conversations, reasoning. But then now when social media comes and nobody understands what's happening in regards to these systems and who's running that page
it's
and
too
who's
much
that
info.
playing, you start seeing people playing right into the agendas. That's exactly what that means. So for me, as a content creator coming up, you know, we were just... we had this all already. You're talking about the spirit. My mom, I had friends come to the crib, and my mom would have them, and then she was like, "Femi, that kid's spirit. I don't like that kid's spirit." I said, "What's wrong with them?" 5 years later, that person went to the bin. I'm shocked. I'm like, "What didn't I see?" Her discernment is very high, and we all come from grandmas and aunties and uncles from all cultures that have that. So when you keep connected with your elders, you don't lose it. But
it's
when
easy.
you do,
You stay grounded.
when you do,
You get in trouble.
and this is what we said we're getting at the Gen Zs, because I feel like, Gen Z, sometimes you have to talk to your grandma more. Like, do you have your grandma around? Did you lose her during COVID? So we also have to recognize certain things in the world that took place, and that's why it's important that we, as the community here, we have conversations together. So like, even if today, if you guys brought those brown kids, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about the nuances of things that maybe you guys are missing out on, and why this is happening, and also just the fact that we're from Toronto. If a man gets at you, yo, be prepared to get
You got-
back.
you
I
got-
come from the
you
roast.
have to know.
I love a roast. I love a good roast. You know?
But see, not a lot of people, like, in Jane and Finch, that was normal. That was a regular. But when I went downtown, I realized how sensitive, man would say something, be like, once you say something back, they're like, why'd you say it like that? I'm like, why'd you start with me? Like, I didn't tell. I said, I'll continue as long as you continue. But people get, I'm not gonna lie, Jane and Finch, this is her. Like, I'm out.
No. We go.
They
go
tell
at
you
it.
something that really gets at you.
If you were the short guy, who stunk. Be like, yo, look at Stinky, bro. Oh, shit. Yo, you smell like shit.
So much smells like shit.
Wow, you really smell like shit.
Straight to the point.
He's coming right back.
No. You are not gonna want to smell like shit. So guess what?
You're gonna clean
go
up.
buy that soap or get that cologne so that you don't have that nickname. And I guarantee Stinky will not be stinky. In
So
2 months.
I have a question for you, Femi. So you're basically saying, all right, yo, bullying is necessary.
Bullying. Let me put it like this.
That's how I took it. That's how I took it.
We got
Because I'm like, yo, I'm listening to him like,
We
yo.
come no.
No, it's
Yeah.
good.
I would say this. I think being able to take criticism.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Constructive. Don't
Constructive,
like go
yeah.
OD and like
okay.
just make fun of this guy because he has low self-esteem. No, you're just a bad person.
Yeah.
I think if you have a good heart
Yeah.
and you have good intentions and you're poking jokes and fun, but then
It's gonna help them.
Yeah, it will help.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
also
In the aims of improvement.
Also mix it up with gratification too.
Yeah.
Don't just get at your brethren and get at them. Like when they do something good or you're seeing them have a good skill, also say that.
Yeah.
Me and my friendship circle, full of that. I have to have people around me like that. I also say
You have to have a good balance.
yeah, you have to know the angel and the devil and all your friends. And that way you'll never get mad. But when the devil approaches you, you're going to understand how to have that conversation because those are soul conversations. This is when now, yo, you're doing something and it is very impactful that I need to tell you how I feel about it. Sometimes you'll have that.
Yeah.
But then also know the angel where this person has a good heart, right? And if the person doesn't have a good heart, you know you definitely shouldn't be talking.
Yeah.
The way I like to know that is like, what's your connection with, you know, your family, your close friends, like
How you
It tells you a lot.
because for me it's like it's all about emotional intelligence. Are you able to like make certain decisions based off of different moods that you're in, or are you somebody that's very
Explosive.
quick to snap and
Yeah.
explosive? Because I have a lot to lose.
Yeah, you're gonna fuck some
I
shit up.
can't be around just any and everybody.
know?
Right? And if you're gonna put me at risk, then maybe I need to stay away from you. You know what I mean?
So let's get back into something that's important. You've been a part of Afro Nation. You're doing the hosting stuff. You don't know a lot of different media stuff.
Wait. You did Burna Boy tour, right?
Yeah. And he also
That's
did content with Michael Blackson. So just talk about some of the new stuff that you have going forward in the new year.
I got to do Afro Nation. I hosted the one in Detroit, 20,000 people. That one was Burna Boy, Lotto, David O, Dejlo. For lineup was crazy. I just did Pudakana. That was with Sexy Red, Marley, Shake It to the Max, Olamide, Shali Puppy, Ruger. It was a mad show. I was hosting it with Equal. Equal's David O's DJ. So that was the second Afro Nation. Shout out to Josh. Josh, we are looking for the other contract. but I had that TV wise. I have a TV show with Michael Blackson on Amazon Prime called Rich Africans.
Okay.
That one we did. It was some wild. That was like one of my first experience to go to Hollywood to shoot on set. We shot on the same set as Wolf of Wall Street.
Whoa.
That's dope.
It was a very like grand experience. Michael Blackson, we did Africa versus the West Indies, like the comedy shows, and just being able to host with him and a man of his caliber and what he's done as a Ghanaian, immigrant moving into Philadelphia, friends with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart used to open up for Michael Blackson.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He used to be like Blackson used to put him on to be like, yo, come do a couple shows and I'm the main act type stuff. So it's like showing love from those days to even traveling to Ghana with Michael Blackson where he opened up a school in his village. And when he opened it up, I said, yo, I'm hosting the soccer tournament for you. Like, he's like, all right, let's go. So we're at his crib. We drove like 2 hours into his village, and the school is beautiful. And then the soccer tournament had like 2,000 people, mad like energy,
Jeez.
I'll show some of the clips and stuff. But there's a lot of opportunities. After that, I got an opportunity to do Bria Mac Gets a Life.
Yeah.
So Bria Mac Gets
Oh
a
yeah,
Life was,
that was dope.
you know, it got nominated for the best new comedy series for the Canadian Screen Awards, and we ended up winning.
Wow.
But then they canceled the season after one. But that was a great
Well,
opportunity.
yeah.
I also did Aura. So shout out to Lonzo. They made me cut off my beard on my head.
What?
And I was playing basically this guy by the name of Jimo. He's like a hustler, like a street boy trying to get money.
Yeah.
But he's from Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? So we shot half of it here in Sudbury and half of it in Nigeria, in Lagos.
Oh shit.
So I'm there with the Lagos extras. You know what I mean? And it was like, that was something. And then I never shaved my head and my beard.
Yeah.
But I look big, bro.
But for the act, you gotta do it.
Yeah, the dedication.
I said, you know when they say you got to sacrifice
Method
something?
acting.
I
yeah.
said,
Oh, you did the 50 in that one music. God, you did it.
Yo, 50 was wilding for that
I
though.
did it, you know, tons of film festivals. It got entered into Lagos Film Festival. It was a big movie, Aura. It's on Paramount.
Okay.
You guys should check that one. ORH. Yeah. So that's happening. You know, I have my own TV show coming up. You know, me and Jerome Crewin did it. It's called Screwface. Because I said it's something we need for the city.
Yeah.
I was
Screwface
looking around in the
capital.
city, I'm like,
Screwface,
you know,
what?
doing the podcast, I like it, this, that, and the other, but I'm like, we got to tell the stories again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Screwface is telling the stories.
And I feel like Toronto, especially now, there's a light on Toronto where like the stories of the city need to get out there more because more people are watching us now. There's a bigger audience, and the more people outside understand what's going on here, I think it'll help grow the city in a positive way.
I think we don't give ourselves enough credit. I think there's always been a light on Toronto. Like remember, I came from the generation of YouTube where 100,000 people watching you is really 100,000 people.
Yeah, real numbers. Yeah,
There's different.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit different because out of the 100,000, maybe only 5,000 is watching you. But at that time, I came from that. And when that happened, when I started to go around the world, I realized how many people knew even other people in Toronto who weren't even on the internet like that. Wow. I started to understand, like, no, like, guys, keep doing what you're doing. People are watching you. But the problem, and I feel like every big city has, is we're looking inwardly at each other. Rather than putting our stuff outward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could quote that one right there. For the last of 2025. But I think, and that's the thing. I'm like, guys, just keep going outwardly with good intentions, and you'll stick. You'll stick, and that's why I'm like, there's never a best time to start than now.
I have a question. So we all know the middle part, right? So what was your middle part, and what did that kind of look like to get past that?
And then I actually have a question to support
when
that.
you say middle part,
Like when you're at that middle part in your life, like where you feel like you're doing a lot of work, like you did a lot of the media stuff, you did a lot of the MCing, like, and you feel like you're hitting the grain a lot. But what was that one moment that really pushed you over the edge?
And how did
to get there?
And how did it affect your mental health?
Very good question. I think mental health is something that a lot of us don't really talk about. Like when I'm calling my friends, I'm like, I ask them, like, how's your mental health? How are you doing?
Yeah.
There was a situation that happened when I was shooting Rich Africans. So my first big series, we're talking multi-million-dollar budget. Me and Michael Blackson, Young Jocks in it, all these stars, and I'm the main. So the first day we were supposed to watch the first cut.
Yeah.
My dad at the time was sick in Nigeria. He wasn't doing too well. And I got a call from my brother. But my phone was off, so we end up going to go watch the first cut of this show, and my boy's phone dies. He's like, "Oh, could you turn it on to call it Uber?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." As soon as I turn it on, I'm gonna call from my brother. He's like, "Oh, Pops passed away." So in this moment is the highest achievement of my life,
And it's the lowest.
mixed with the lowest of low, because me and my pops, like, we reasoned. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of the things I say, it's reflecting from things he used to say, because he would tell me, one day I'll be gone, and he would be saying my dad used to say.
Yeah.
And he wasn't lying.
Yeah.
So in that moment, it was a shift, because I think that was the first moment where I had a loss of that magnitude.
Yeah.
So handling the loss of that magnitude, but then also dealing with the stardom that I'm about to also get at the same exact moment.
Yeah.
So the way that I deal with that and get through it is through prayer. And I get that a lot from my mom. You know, I go to Juma prayers like every Friday. You know, I think it's really good to pray. The aspect of praying. Sometimes, you know, people are like, oh, you know, I don't pray this times a day, da da da. But the actions of praying is being able to give thanks for what you have and everything you have, and just to know that there's a bigger being out there than just you. Yeah. As much as you're sad at yourself, there's somebody else going through a lot worse.
A lot worse, trust me.
I'm somebody that doesn't like to hold malice. Like, I don't like to hold grudges with people. And I think all these little things help you to get through that middle barrier, you know, when you're just about to go there. Because if it's not fixed, these are the things that will pull you back down to not...
Talking to Mike?
Oh, sorry about that, yeah.
Yeah. But, man, I would say when it comes to the middle part, sometimes even realizing you're in that zone is difficult.
Yeah.
So it's like, what would you say is a way to figure out where you're at?
I think looking at where you were last year is a good indication. Setting goals for yourself. I think a lot of people want to talk about what they do, but what did you really achieve? Ignoring the noise. Some people like the noise more than the process.
Facts.
And I think, you know, when you understand the process of where you're going, it makes things more achievable. If you're somebody that's just a big thinker, it's harder to reach that big goal if you don't know the steps in between. So knowing, you know, when to get a team, you can't do everything yourself.
Yeah. Man, that was a big lesson I learned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think everyone is very self-righteous. Like, you know, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. And some are, you know, jack of many trades that they're good at in a little bit. But, you know, when I was working at, side note, with the Pan Am Games is like the biggest sporting event next to the Olympics, but it was with the Pan American countries. So at the time, I was the manager for the community tour. So I was basically hiring a team. I hired maybe 50 people. I was one of the first 10 people hired at that. You know, we ended up getting 25,000. I was in charge of getting 25,000 volunteers for the games, going to all these places around Canada. And one thing I realized when I was there, me and the CEO became friends. And I was like, oh, how you become a CEO of Pan Am Games? He's like, yeah, my father brought People's Diamonds out here. He was big in bringing Walmart out here. And he's like, one of the rules as a CEO is like, anything I'm not good at, I just get the best person that knows it.
To
do it. They do it.
Yeah.
I put them on my team. He's like, I'm not the smartest. What? But the people around me, if I don't know the answer, somebody around me is going to know it.
Being a lead organizer, and that's a skill too. If you don't know it, how can you get it?
Exactly. Yeah. And you learn from it too, and that's the beauty of it. Just being around all those energies and all those people that have all these crazy skills. It's like you start to pick it up as you're around them. But it's been a pleasure having you. I know we're running out of time and stuff. I do want to ask if you have any upcoming events that you want to like tell the people.
I want to let everyone know to tune into the YouTube. We're gonna start turning it up again. Femi Lawson.
Yeah.
Look out for the show Top of the Year. You know, I'm gonna release the episodes for the culture.
Okay.
Culture,
What's the name of that again?
Screwface.
Screwface.
Yeah. That looks like we gotta check that out for sure.
The trailer is out. I've put the trailer out for quite some time, and it's been done like that on purpose because this has been something that thought out.
So is it fully like filmed and everything, or are you still recording?
No, there might be auditions.
Oh,
you know,
shit.
we might shoot an episode while, you know, some episodes are out. Like the direction I want to take Screwface is going to be very unorthodox, but very constructive to again put that word out to the world. This is what we're doing, guys.
Okay.
Got connect about them auditions. I think we got like 3-4 spots. Yeah, we gotta try, right?
I gotta see. You know, let's see what we're
We
saying.
can do a little cameo.
So yeah, that's coming up next year. A bunch of tantalization events, as well as I'm doing a lot of speaking series in the different schools, universities, high schools as well too. But yeah, there's quite a lot. Check out my Instagram. I post a lot of my updates there.
Where can they find you on Instagram?
Instagram, Femi Lawson, FemiLawson.
Are you on TikTok, other social?
Yeah, TikTok, Femi Lawson. Oh, Twitter, it's Mr. Lawson. Check it out. My music stuff, Baba Femi. But yeah, you know, it's Femi Lawson. You can check out my IMDb. It's piling up. You know.
Okay. You gotta add the credits.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Come on, more movies. You know, more shows. You know, more everything. And I'd love to give you guys a big shout out on, you know, such a beautiful space. Nice
appreciate it. Appreciate it, man.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we definitely got to line up
Gotta
another
lock in.
episode and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like a little sneak peek, you know, a little teaser for the people. But when we get like you to come by another time, we're definitely gonna have a grandioso episode. So it's been a pleasure having you. Like I said, you know, your energy.
One more question before we wrap this up. You know, sorry, I always gotta do this. Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof rice?
He's trying to start problems.
Will you compare a Lamborghini to a Honda Civic?
What?
Okay.
All right.
That tells it all.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. We're leaving it there. We're leaving it there. All right.
That's been our episode. Maybe it gets better podcast. We out.
Peace.
Cheers.